Guys, good morning. I hope you guys are well. I'm doing pretty good. I have a very detailed and specific word for someone. And here's the thing. This is a very common thing. This happens a lot in today's society. However, when you have a relationship with God and when you are prophetic or able to receive prophetic instructions from God and revelations and stuff like that, oftentimes God will definitely warn you before you get yourself in a situation like this. This is very important. This is why I always tell people you have to consult God with anything that you do in your life. God says he will establish your footsteps. So a man's heart can, determine the plans, but it's God that will establish the footsteps. So if it's not according to God's will for your life, he will not establish your footsteps towards this, even if it's something that your heart does desire, because God does grant you your heart's desires. But if it's going to harm you and not prosper you, God will not lead you there. This is a very common thing, and it's not the first time. I put out a message, I think a month ago or 3 weeks ago or something like that, about a situation where a woman she had like a man living with her, and the man was basically taking advantage of her, and he was basically using her, right? So I put that word out. So this word is somewhat similar, except this person was trying to marry you, okay? So the Lord showed me in the spirit that a woman was getting married to this particular person, and the person that she got married to, it's like the person was love bombing her and basically telling her like everything that he wants to have with her, like the life he wants to have with her, the life he wants to share with her, and he's filling her with all these hopes and dreams and promises. And the thing is that there's so much red flags before she got into the marriage. There were so much red flags, but she ignored them. And what God showed me was the outcome of like her being married to this person, and this person was not doing anything that a man is supposed to do in the household. Like this person was not only abusing her mentally, but he was abusing her emotionally, he was abusing her physically, he was draining her, he was taking from her. So he wasn't like contributing to nothing. He was not protecting her, he was not providing for her, he was not being the husband that God ordained for her to have, right? So she ended up marrying someone outside of God's standards, and she ended up marrying someone that God did not approve of. And when it was time for them to get divorced, this man was literally trying to milk her, and this man was basically saying to her, well, I'm allowed to get half of this or half of that or majority of this, majority of that, because I'm your husband. So that's what he was basically saying to her. So the reason why he married her was just so he can divorce her and take half of everything that she has. Okay. And this person, before he met her, he was not doing anything with his life. He was not elevating in no way, shape, or form. He was not successful. He had no direction in life. His way of receiving for himself was by love bombing women and using women and getting what he can get out of women. Unfortunately, she was the one that fell for it and ended up taking it as far as marriage, and he ended up trying to divorce her and trying to take everything that she has. So basically he was trying to milk her. Okay, he was trying to milk her and take advantage of her. Now, here's the thing. I understand that what I saw in the spirit was relating to a male and a female, and the female was the one that was being used. But I want to also let you know that this message can actually go both ways. This can actually be the other way around, where a man is marrying someone and the female is trying to take from him. And the reason why I say this is because this is very common in today's society. A lot of people, they go after what their flesh desires rather than what God says, right? So they'll go after what their flesh desires, and they'll go after lust, and they'll fall into these relationships with these Jezebels, right? And Jezebel could be male or female. It can go both ways, right? They'll fall in love with this Jezebel spirited person, and they'll end up, the Jezebel spirited person will manipulate them, love bomb them, sell them false dreams, false hopes, all of that stuff. And every time they're about to leave the relationship or they come to their senses a little bit, it's almost like something keeps pulling them back in, right? And the person will manipulate them and try to keep them in the relationship. And this happens so much. And then oftentimes when you are someone that does not want to be alone, that is afraid to be lonely, that is not sure if you're going to find anybody else, like oftentimes that person will understand your insecurities, and they will manipulate that and use that towards you to make you feel like if you do leave them, you're not going to find anyone better, you're not going to succeed, you're not going to elevate. So then you end up staying in that toxic relationship, and you end up falling back into this cycle, right? right? And then you end up having this off and on relationship with this narcissist, and then you end up marrying the person, and then now it's harder for you to get out the marriage, and now the person could try to milk whatever they can try to milk from you, okay? So like I said, it can go both ways, but this is very common. This happens a lot. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted in the past, the Kingdom Marriages video, the segment. It's like an hour long. I think it's like, no, it's like a 3-hour long video. And I talked about how people will use witchcraft to manipulate and get kingdom husbands or kingdom wives. They'll use witchcraft, and a lot of the times they only do this because of status. They only do this because of what the person has to offer. And if the person has a lot of money, they will try to do whatever they can to lure the person in, because their motive is to be financially stable. Their motive is to try to divorce the person and take as much money as possible, or marry the person and try to get as much benefits from the person as possible. And a lot of times spells are involved in this as well, right? So yes, I wanted to give you this warning, and God wanted me to tell you to stay clear of this person, because this person is love bombing you, talking about they're gonna marry you, they're gonna take care of you, they're gonna this, they're gonna that, but you're not seeing any of what they're saying. You're not seeing the actions proving it or anything like that. It's like this person their goal is to just use you mentally, because you have aspirations in life, you have goals, and everything that you set your mind to, it's almost like you're able to manifest it because you have that anointing, right? And that's the thing about God's anointed. It's like when God gives us a plan and he gives us ideas and we start actually working on it, they actually start happening, right? And people know this. People know this. Similar to Joseph. Like, Joseph was a very, very blessed man. Like, everybody wanted to be around him. Everybody wanted to work with him. And anyone that Joseph was around, they were prospering, right? So it's the same concept. It's like, when a person can see that, wow, like you have a strong anointing on your life and God has his favor on your life, they're going to want to be around you, and they may not even love you. They may not even like you. They may not have good intentions for you, but all this person is seeing is what they're going to gain out of this relationship. And they may even go as far as marrying you just so they can try to be there when you're building. And when you build and become something of yourself, and now you start seeing the fruits of your labor, now they can say they want out and try to reap off the fruits of your labor, because that happens a lot. Oftentimes a woman, or a Jezebel spirited woman or a Jezebel spirited man, will see a partner that has potential, that has plans, and they know this person's going to go far. They can see this person. Sometimes they can see this person's, prophecy as to what's going to happen for them. This happens a lot. Like I said, that's why oftentimes people get in a situation, there's spell work involved, because a witch or a warlock is not going to waste their time trying to lure someone in who's not going to give them anything, who they're not going to benefit from. So they obviously saw something in the person to try to lure the person in the first place so they can benefit, right? So oftentimes they'll try to come in even before you start building, because they know that the route that you're heading in, the path that God has you on, you're going to build like Solomon, you're going to build like David. They see that, right? And when they see, like, wow, like this man of God is going to be something, or this woman of God is going to be something, because look at the direction they're heading in, they will oftentimes try to bring themselves in ahead of time just so they can make it seem like they've been there from day one, but you not understanding that they're able to see what's ahead for you, right? Let me ask you a question. If you have enemies who are sitting here trying to block you, trying to do things to sabotage you, why do you think they're doing it? They're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. They're doing it because they know that there's something coming for you. So if they know this, what makes you think that there won't be someone out there that has this mindset of greed that will not try to be around you and associate with you just because of what you're going to gain? This happens a lot. So they will try to come in early on and try to marry you, and then literally watch you build everything and then take it. This happens you see this all the time in the media, how like certain people, certain celebrities, they meet someone and they may have been with someone when they had nothing, and they may have left that person for someone else, because when they start elevating towards that next level, they'll leave the person that really truly loves them, that holds them down, for someone who does not even care about them, and they'll start building even more with the new person, and then the new person will divorce them and take almost everything that they have, right? So I'm just here to give you this warning that God says, be cautious, be careful. This person only wants to gain, and their goal is to divorce you and take what they can take from you. Okay, so I love you guys. I'm just here to give this person this warning, because what I saw in the spirit was this person was trying to marry you and then trying to take almost everything that you have. Okay, so I'm just here to give you this warning. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.